Okay, so just like the spinal cord, the brain has both the gray matter and the white matter. The gray matter is mostly found on the outer part of the cortex, and there's a high concentration of neurons that synapse in that cortex. There's also little islands of gray matter deep within the brain. That's the basal ganglia area. And the white matter are fiber tracts or bundles of nerve fibers that disperse themselves within the brain, and they carry impulses to and from the cortex. The corpus callosum is a bundle of white matter, and they are fiber tracts that connect hemisphere to hemisphere. Okay, that's the corpus callosum. Okay, we're seeing a cross section of that here, the corpus callosum. And then here is the outer cortex of the brain, so this is gray matter. And then you're seeing the islands of the gray matter inside, that's the basal ganglia. And the basal ganglia's function is to regulate motor activity by sending and modifying instructions to the skeletal muscle to carry out their coordinated motor function. Okay. If there's a disruption in the basal ganglia, then this can lead to Parkinson's disease. And the basal ganglia, which I abbreviated BG there, so the basal ganglia starts to lose its pigmentation. You get these inclusion granules called Lewy bodies. And there's two particular neurotransmitters, dopamine and acetylcholine, that the basal ganglia is responsible for. Dopamine is depleted, which leaves a high concentration of acetylcholine. Okay, so because of the abnormal ratios of depleted dopamine and too much acetylcholine, you get that classic Parkinson's disease appearance, which can be altered gait. They walk funny, shuffle gait. They tend to appear off balance. They can be very rigid. Hypokinesia, which means they move slower than normal, and they have that mask-like stare. They'll also have those intention tremors or resting tremors, where they just sit there and shake. Could be one arm, both arms, their hand, both hands, the head. Different parts of the body can have these tremors. Okay, so some treatments. The blocking effect of acetylcholine. So to try to block some acetylcholine is kind of the same as trying to decrease the levels and or give drugs that help with dopamine transmission. Okay, to try to get the acetylcholine dopamine. Celebrity-wise, Michael J. Fox has Parkinson's. So if you've seen him lately in interviews and things like that, he definitely has, you can tell that there's just something not right with the motor skills, the way he talks and so forth, and that is Parkinson's. Okay, Huntington's disease is another issue that can surface with basal ganglia damage. It's a gradual onset of chorea and dementia. This one is genetically linked. It's a chromosome 4 disorder. Also basal ganglia and corpus striatum loss. No cure for it, but you can manage them with some therapies. Usually occupational therapy can help them quite a bit.